Hello, I'm Chris. Welcome to my reading corner. Hope you're doing well and having a good week. It feels like it's been a really long week this week. It felt like yesterday was Friday. I was in studying mode on Monday at college. Well, not college, in class. Tuesday was month end, so it was a busy day at work. Wednesday was a busy day trying to get an invoice out. Yesterday was less busy. Today wasn't too bad. I was on half a day, and then I went get my hair cut and treat myself to chicken gyros and chips at A Taste of Greece in Bolton, which is somewhere I've not been for ages and really enjoyed it. It was quite busy as well, to be fair, because it was about 1 o'clock when I went. So yeah, that was nice. And then this is just a Friday reads into a weekend reads. I'm not back in work till Wednesday now, so I've got quite a stacked TBR. So there's quite a bit of reason for that, but we'll get on with that as we go through. But first up, the novel I'm still currently reading is All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. I'm thoroughly enjoying this so far. I think The Road's my favourite, but I think I prefer this over No Country for Old Men. I don't know if that's controversial to say that or not, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm enjoying this more than I did that, but I want to reread No Country for Old Men, and I do want to reread The Road, because I enjoy The Road a lot. But yeah, so I'm enjoying this. I want to try and read... I'm on 183, I want to try and read up to 224, which is the end of the chapter, and I can start a new chapter then tomorrow, and I can do read other bits I want to read tonight. So that's first up tonight on the docket is for weekend reads is Cormac McCarthy. Once I've finished that, I want to read a short story in Charles Bukowski, The Most Beautiful Woman in Town. Tonight's story is Three Women, which I want to sit and read that later with a cup of tea. I want to also read Caleb Femi's Poe. I've been enjoying this quite a lot. Quite an interesting poetry collection. It's about a black guy living in London, and obviously with a lot of racial issues, and I imagine, from this I imagine they get, from the police and stuff like that, they get, racially, picked because of the colour, which I think's wrong, but I think the poetry collection is really well written, and some of the poems are really harrowing, what he speaks about. It's really interesting, especially as a white man who reads predominantly white men, not through any, just through that's what I've ended up gravitating towards, not because, I want to diversify my reading, but I just haven't quite done as yet. So I've really thoroughly enjoyed this so far. So I'll try and read, the next poem's about quite a long one, so that's what I want to read later. So that's that, but I'm reading them aloud to get the right intonation of the poetry, because I'm reading it aloud, you kind of want to do it when it's quiet, so that's my plan with that. Also want to read Coming Alone, his columns, Warren Ellis's columns. I'm up to date with this, I just need to read today's, but it's literally like 3 pages, so I'll try and read that as well, so that's that. And then the final thing I'm currently reading that I want to read is Golden Kamuy. I've got 8 chapters of this left, so I'm planning on reading 4 tonight, 4 tomorrow. And that would be my Friday reads, really. I think that's enough to read without overstepping anything. If I finish all that, if I finish all that, then I'll carry on with the final chapter in Cormac McCarthy's All the Pretty Horses. I'm still reading this, but I don't think I'm going to get to it this weekend, because I don't want to I'm going away this weekend for a couple of nights, so I don't want to take too many books with me, and I don't want to take a book just to read a short story in, so I'm going to leave that one at home. Second up, these are what I'm definitely going to take. So I picked out some books I'm definitely going to take. I'm going to take Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hunter S. Thompson is driving to Las Vegas with his attorney, the Samoan, to find the dark side of the American dream. Rowing down the desert highway from Los Angeles, they realise there's only one way to go about such a perilous task. Getting very, very twisted. Armed with a drug arsenal of stupendous proportions, the duo engage in a manic surreal tour of the sleaze capital of the world. Their perilous, chemically enhanced confrontations with casino operators, police officers, and assorted middle Americans have hallucinatory humour and nightmare terror. Riotously funny, daring, original, and dead serious at its core, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a classic statement on the collapsed dream of the American 60s. That's brilliant, this book. I love this book. It's one of my favourite reads. It is a reread, but it's one I want to get to. And because it's only, it's only 204 pages, and it's one I can get through quite quickly, so that's why I'm taking that. And I'm going to show a couple of comic books before I show my final book. I'm planning on reading this while I'm away as well. I want to try, let me see. This has got 6 chapters, so I may try and do 3 chapters a day on this, because it's quite a snappy read, this, and that's Crazy Food Truck 2. It's really good, this. I really enjoyed the first one. It's quite gory. There's a bit of nudity in it as well. It's quite gory, but it's fun. A lot of food involved in it, but it's really good. Really enjoyed the first one, so I'm looking forward to reading that. So yeah, that's what I'm taking so far. Those 2, a manga and a comic, a manga and a novel. Sorry. I'm also thinking of taking Sweet Tooth in Captivity, just so I've got like something I can just sit and read and have a cup of tea with, or a beer if it's at night, whatever. But yeah, it's kind of like, I think it's only like 5 or 6 chapters, so again, probably read 3 and 3. So that's that. So I'm also taking, obviously, Bukowski, because I want to carry on with the short stories and that. So that's what I'm taking, and then the next book I've decided to read after those, I was stuck between 3. I was thinking The Whistler by John Grisham. I was thinking Cities of the Red Night by William S. Burroughs, they were both my 25 authors in 25, but I actually decided against those 2 and picked one off my second-hand TBR, so I decided to pick 6 Minutes in May, How Churchill Unexpectedly Became Prime Minister. William Churchill. Winston Churchill is one of my favourite people to read about during World War II. I do have another book that was really interesting that I want to read again. There's a couple of books on World War II I want to read again. I may pull them out for non-fiction November, maybe. If I can wait, this might set it off with me and I just want to read them now. But I do have a lot. I might try and do that. But I've got a lot of books about World War II, but not necessarily read them all. But I think I've got enough to do a good video on the ones I've got. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, Churchill is somebody I really don't really know much about. He's somebody I'm really interested to find more about him. Neville Chamberlain is the person he took over, the Prime Minister he took over from. I don't really know much about him. I know he was the guy who went to Germany to get the peace treaty signed and came back with it. And then after him became Winston Churchill, took over. But yeah, I'm just going to read the back of this. I can't wait to read this, although it is a massive chunker. I don't know. I mean, I think the subject interests me and I think I'll enjoy reading it. But yeah, London, May 1940. Britain is under threat of invasion and Neville Chamberlain's government is about to fall. It is hard for us to imagine the Second World War without Winston Churchill taking the helm. But in 6 minutes in May, Nicholas Shakespeare shows how easily events could have gone in a different direction. It took just 6 minutes for MPs to cast the votes that brought down Chamberlain. Shakespeare moves from Britain's disastrous battle in Norway, for which many blamed Churchill, onto the dramatic developments in Westminster that led to Churchill becoming Prime Minister, uncovering fascinating new research and delving into the key players' backgrounds. Shakespeare gives us a new perspective on this critical moment in our history. So that sounds amazing, but it is. Let me see how many pages it is. It's 400 pages. There's all after that, and then there's epilogues and indexes and stuff like that afterwards. But yeah, can't wait to read this. I've had it a while. I put it in my original plan was to read it in May, just because of the title, but then I decided to throw my second-hand TBR books into a cup and pick one at random, so that's what I did, and this is what came out, so this is what I'm reading. So I'm reading that, and then I'm not sure what I'll read after that. We'll see what I pull out. I've got a couple of maybes now. These aren't books I think, well, I'll throw that one in the ring as well. Excuse me for a maybe. So, because I'm away, I think that I think while I'm away, I think Bukowski, so I can carry on with it on a day-to-day basis. Crazy Food Truck Manga as a manga is, like I say, it's a fun ride. It's crazy. It's it's probably about 200 pages, if that. It's just a fun read. I don't think that'll take too long. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I've read that loads of times, read it a couple of days, so I don't think that'll take too long. Sweet Tooth, I just thought, well, that was an added bonus if I get to, and then I'd just love to start this, read at least a chapter of this. So I think that's enough to take without overshadowing, without taking too much with me. I don't want to be reading all the time. I also want to go for walks and stuff like that. So I'm not going to take Labyrinths, but I do want to carry on with Labyrinths. I am enjoying it, but I think once I get back, I'm just going to try and dip my toe into this with a couple of stories, like to catch up. So say I read All the Pretty Horses, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and 6 Minutes in May, then I'll read 3 stories in that. Another one, I'm very tempted to take this given the size of it, and I think, well, I'm not sure. Let me have a look. The stories are fairly long in this, so it would be like quite a good one to take, because the stories are, the first one's 27 pages, the second one's 31 pages, so yeah, and for the size of it, so that's a maybe. I might take that. That's Assisted Living by Roberto Ontiveros. So yeah, that's a maybe, but I think, like I say, given the size, it's kind of worth taking that to read a short story, but I don't think I need anything more than what I've already pulled out. And then I would have liked to have read Clive Barker Books of Blood, and then I would have liked to have started Ellen Datlow, but I think because I'm so not behind, but I was hoping to have finished, chapter 3 by now and been on chapter 4 tonight, so because I've not done that, I don't think I'm going to get to those, but next weekend I've not got Sam, so I think next weekend I'm going to try and read a Clive Barker, an Ellen Datlow, and some Noam Chomsky. But yeah, that's my Friday reads. So my Friday reads are Bukowski, Golden Kamuy Volume 2, Coming Alone, Poor, All the Pretty Horses. The books I'm taking away with me, that one's, I think, a maybe, but I think I've got enough of what I'm taking. So I'm going to take Bukowski, The Most Beautiful Woman in Town, Crazy Free Tuck Manga Volume 2, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson, Sweet Tooth in Captivity by Jeff Lemire, and 6 Minutes in May. I think if I was going to take a short story collection, I know that's only small, but I think that would be the one to take with me if I was going to take one. But I think I think I've got enough. When I've looked at it now and in a stack, I think I've got enough there to be going on with. And I'm not too bothered about starting the Ellen Datlow one just because I think I'll enjoy it, and I'm not too bothered about reading Clive Barker, so I know I've got a weekend to myself next weekend. Well, I know Sam. I'll probably make other plans, but I've no Sam. So yeah, that's that. I feel like that's a good stack for going away with. I think the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and the comic books of Bukowski aren't too bad. And obviously if I'm reading that bad boy, then I can just enjoy and sit and read and enjoy. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so some good books there. But I hope you're all reading good things, and and let me know what you're reading. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.